Managers and data analysts in the audience, has this ever happened to you? So, you think things are going great, everything is looking good, and all of a sudden you get an email from the boss more or less saying, vaguely, there is a discrepancy in our supply chain reports, you must identify it, and your goals are directly related to this. So, no getting around this one. How do you solve the problem? Well, first, they sent you a produced and a shipped spreadsheet. So let's take a look at those. Most of the time, these kinds of requests are easy, right? Or at least they should be. Let's just take a look at the data, see what we got. Should just be comparing columns, and then everything should be fine, right? Well, we open it up, and let's take a look at the data in produced, and oh no. Right off the bat here, you can see we've got inconsistent date formats. We have misspellings in a lot of these facility names. Facility designations are swapped in for facility names in some places. There are errors in producing some of the data. This one got a not applicable for some reason. There are names and branding details that are dropped or added or spaced differently here. This isn't looking so hot. Hey, maybe the shipped CSV will be better. Maybe it was just that one this time. Let's have a look. Just open that up in LibreOffice, get her going there. Let's take a, oh boy. Yeah, this is the same. This has exactly the same set of problems. So what do you do in this situation? Most of the time you have to spend a very long time grooming this stuff. You could try to go the Python data science route and like use SciPy or something to go through it and create a data set. That's probably going to take too long, or maybe you don't know how to do that. I'm going to show you how you can solve problems like this using Kash. First thing that you're going to want to do in the Kash interface, pop the sidebar open, go to ingest, and grab your files. We have our produce.csv, and we're going to tag this as produced raw, produced raw October, and video demo so I don't lose it. We'll launch processing for that. That can take a few minutes. You might get a message saying it's a long-running request and to check cache, so we'll wait for that time to finish up, and then I'll upload the second one. You can see we are all done here because we have the same number of digests in this tag as we did rows in the spreadsheet, and let's go back to our ingest tool and do that for shipped now. Start that upload as well. At the main tag screen in Kash, we'll just double check these counts and make sure that they're both looking good. Now we can start thinking about what we're going to do with this data to get it into a format where it's usable. So let's take a look at the spreadsheets one more time real quick so we can get a sense of the fields that we're working with. Fields that we're looking at are date, location, count produced, and product. Right away, I'm going to start thinking aloud on my notepad. Not gonna lie, I had Kash finish the workflow instructions for me. I just used the personal assistant. This is the rest of the tag instructions with the mapping for the facility names and everything all fleshed out. And then for tag instructions, I just added that we should be tagging these video demo and produced P1. That'll give us, you know, a way to mark this and see it. To make this a workflow, we're going to go into Kash, and then we're going to open Tools and go to Probes, and then go to Workflow Probes. Hit New Workflow. We're going to call this Produced Finder 1. We're going to say this normalizes digests in the produced tag so we can analyze them better. And this is going to be available on the video demo tag where all of those are. Add steps. We're going to do create digest. Create normalized digest. We're going to do this with a somewhat large but still fast model, so let's do GPT 4.1, and then we can add in our description of all of the steps. Great. Then we'll save the workflow. Now, I just made that workflow affect all of video demo, and I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, that's both. That's the produced and the shipped. We're not. If I go into the video demo tag and I wait a second for my digest and filters to become available, there are 2,000 entries in this tag. It might take it 1 second to spin things up for me, and we can forgive it for that. Let's look at our filters, and we'll go advanced, and then we're only going to look at things that are in produced raw. And And then we're going to do a quick select and select search results. And then we'll do run workflow. And we'll select produced finder 1. And then we'll say, please normalize and tag the incoming data. There is an error or other issue, include the additional tag produce error. And then hit run. Now, granted, this is a very big example, and you have to keep in mind that for a human being, this is like a day's work, so we'll let this run. It's making pretty good time, and then when we come back, we should see how things are looking. Quick tip I want to share. We have our workflow running over in this screen here. Come over to your other tab since you're an analyst or manager and you're using a real computer, and you can see the live updated results coming in as the results are processed. Again, this does take a little bit of time, but keep in mind that this is just a demo use case. There are way worse cases of data mangling that you can use this for, and if you want to go really fast, I'm doing this because I want to make sure this demo turns out well, you can use a nano model that can do this about 70% faster. All right, we've got the first set of digests fully processed. Let's make that second workflow. Go to Tools, Probes, Workflow Probes, New Workflow. I'm going to call this one Shipped Finder 1. We're going to say this normalizes and tags shipped digests. Make this available on video demo as well. Add steps. I have converted this to be for shipped instead of produced, but it's exactly the same prompt. And then we're going to do a create digest, obviously, and create new normalized digest as the label, so I can find that later. Same model. Create that. And then we're going to go back into Kash. We're going to find the video demo tag, and you can also, you can pin these to make them easier to find in the future if you want to do that. But I don't have that many open from today, so not hard to find for me. Gonna wait a second for the 3,000 digests in this tag to load. For advanced, we're gonna get the tag for shipped raw open. Again, 1091 digests, and then we're going to select one so we can bump the select all search results button, hit run workflow, select ship finder 1. And this is going to be for context prompt, just execute the instructions on the provided digest. Start running it, and then once again, I'll wait for a couple of these to come in so that I can pop the tag open and we can watch the process. P1. And as you can see here, results are coming in nicely. All we have to do is wait for this workflow to finish running on all these digests, and then we'll have something that we can really take a look at. We have run the workflow for both the shipped and produced digests, and we're going to get exports of those, like so. Then we're going to go into our downloads folder. We're going to open these with LibreOffice. I did a very small amount of housekeeping here. I removed some extra system columns that we're not going to use for this because we don't really need like the digest ID or the node information. And then I added shipped to the shipped digests and for their columns, and I added produced to the produced digest for their columns. So I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking that what I'm going to do now is just take this data that I cleaned up and then I'm going to put it in Excel and I'm going to do something with it. That is wrong. What I'm going to do next is take these and combine them, and then we can upload these to Kash/Pulse again. We can ask to identify and flag all the discrepancies. Now that we have our doctored CSV saved, we can go to upload it, save it to the downloads folder, and we'll just start our upload. It is looking like we are done here. In discrepancy compare, we've got 1093 digests, and that means we're going to make one last workflow. Going to go to probes, workflow probes, new workflow. Going to call this tag potential discrepancies. What does this do? It tags potential discrepancies. Available tags. This is going to go on discrepancy compare in there, and we're going to hit add steps, add a step. And I've already written this out, but basically these are just instructions that say always keep the tag discrepancy compare in there, and then flag it with the facility, and then if it is a discrepancy of various sizes, we have rules for flagging, also for errors and things like that. So put that in there, select our model, tag digest, and we're going to say adjust tags. Save the workflow, and then we're going to go back to Kash and back to the discrepancy compare tag. Give this a moment to load. Shouldn't be too bad. It's only about 1,000 digests. We're going to grab one of these. We're going to do a select all, and then we're going to do run workflow and tag potential discrepancies. Please follow the included instructions and tag this digest across all of these digests. And we'll hit run batch. Footage while this workflow is running here. This is what the tag digest workflows do that I've been talking about. You can see we got this broken down by facility. We've got this broken down by what type of anomaly it is. We've got what type of difference it is. So let's say it is an anomaly in produced. So in this case, the count shipped is higher than the count produced. And in this case, the count shipped is lower than the count produced. Tracking different kinds of anomalies here, and when this finishes, we'll have this kind of breakdown for everything. The workflow has been run, and now when we pop open the advanced filters here to see the tags, no matter what the boss is looking for now, we can see small anomalies, we can see large anomalies, we can see anomalies where shipping was lower, we can see anomalies where produced was lower, we can see things broken down by facility, and all of these things. So just for example, if I were to go into facility gamma, click into the tag for facility gamma, and wait a moment for the digest to load, click export. When I go to open up this export, and we've got all of the information that we need here. So, and we also kept all of the other tags, so we have all these anomalies to choose from. It's not about getting the exact answer instantaneously, because in knowledge work, like, to me, that's not what's really painful. What I'm trying to show here is Kash allows you to build these knowledge graphs that are normalized, that are easy to work with, that give you a consistent source of truth. You can go back to the original data, you can run different tagging workflows on the same data over and over again if you want to. You're not limited to trying to keep things together with spreadsheets or databases anymore. You know, it kind of turns everything into an event stream. That's what I was hoping to show with this demo. I hope this has been helpful, and this gives you an idea of how AI can change knowledge work for the better.